So the guest tonight, I'm extremely honored and privileged to have her on the show. It truly, truly is a blessing. Not to get all preachy and holy roly on you, but it really, really is a blessing to have her on. She goes by the name, her name is Ebony Canion, and June 30th, 2012, everything changed for her. Her life just completely changed. And just imagine someone purposely hitting you with a car and almost damn near killing you, dragging you blocks down the street. She suffered so many injuries, 7 broken ribs, a collapsed lung. The left side of her face was ripped up. She nearly lost her tongue. She had to get her tongue sewn back on. She lost 3 teeth, a fractured shoulder, jaw, a little bit of blood on her brain, and the doctor basically told her that she would be a vegetable and paralyzed for the rest of her life. And we are now about to talk to her, so just know that it is a blessing. I'm so honored to have her on this show. If you never believed in God, now would be a great time to start. So without further ado, I am just going to welcome her on the line. Miss Ebony, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Good evening, Miss Tiffany.
Hello, welcome to Embrace Life Radio. I'm so happy that you are here. Before we begin, I mean, I seen your story on Instagram, and I think it's just so amazing that you were able to inspire. You have created a following of about 26,000 people are just following your story. So just know that God makes that really is amazing. God makes no mistakes. How are you today?
I am A-OK. I definitely won't complain. How are you today?
I'm great. Your spirits are so high. I mean, can we go to June 29th? What was life like June 29th and then June 30th? How did everything just completely change?
Well, June 29th, in school, trying to get a career versus a job because I'm a widow of 4. So I'm in school, going to school online and just trying to get myself together, enjoying the day, enjoying my kids, and taking my classes. That was the day before.
And so fast forward to June 30th. What happened?
There's the June 30th. June 30th, my birthday is actually July 3rd, so it was the weekend before my birthday. Mm-hmm. So we decided, myself and my sister and a couple of my cousins decided, to go ahead out and step out, have a little fun, and go back to my sister's house afterwards. So we go to my sister's house, and it's mind you, it's maybe about 2:30 in the morning, no later than 2:33. And when we get to the house, there's a car in the driveway, and we're trying to find out who could be in the driveway at that time of night, especially when there's 5 heads in the car or whatever. So we politely asked them to leave out the driveway, and they didn't want to, and after they didn't want to, we decided to drive down the street, which my grandmother stays a couple houses down. So we parked down there, and we walked back down to my sister's house and, asked them to leave out the driveway or whatever. They still didn't want to leave. My sister asked them to leave in her way, and they finally backed out of the driveway. They didn't leave. They backed out of the driveway and backed across the street. Now, they were in that driveway and, for a second and got out of the car and, wanted to start trouble. And just talking all kind of crazy stuff, and I'm trying to diffuse the situation. And in the midst of me diffusing the situation, I'm struck by one of the females, and of course, right then and there, it's time to defend yourself, So an altercation breaks out from there, and the altercation is actually broken up. And, something is thrown from them, they got in their car, and something was thrown from them, and then something was thrown back at them, from one of my family members. And we're thinking that they're actually leaving, because, it's over with. Everybody has done what they're doing or whatever, and it's over with. So we're thinking they're leaving. And we hear the car start up, see the headlights come on and hear the engine roar, and I see the car coming, directly towards me. My cousin was actually standing beside me. She jumped out of the way. myself, I didn't think that they were going to hit me, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't, on my P's and Q's or whatever, but I got a chance to brace the hood and, I'm hold on, and they continued to go. And they drugged me almost 200 feet, and my family members, a couple of my family members didn't even know where I went. The only way they knew that I was up under the car is because they saw a blood trail going down the street. So they chased the car and was hitting on the car. The car could barely go because my body was actually stopping the car. So they were, hitting on the car, telling me to stop, and they kept on going. They turned the corner, and my body rolled from under there, and they left me on the side of roadkill and kept on going.
People can be, like, I don't know what is going on with people in the world today, but it's so
amazing how hard these people can be.
It really, really is. We won't give them any more of the limelight on the show, but what we will focus about, yes, they don't even deserve that. Just pray for them and keep it moving. But what we will focus on is just the whole recovery. Did you, black out? Did you know what was going on?
My last memory was me bracing the car, so thank God he took that from me. I actually don't even have nightmares about it, so that's a good thing. I thank God for that. But that was my last memory, and then as far as the recovery, as you said, I suffered so many injuries. There were the 7 broken ribs, there were the collapsed lungs, the brain on my head, the brain on my head, the blood on my brain, the dislocated spine with the rods in it, my pelvis, my legs, all 3 of those have rods in it, my back gone, my tongue, all of that crazy stuff. I went through all that, and of course, when I first woke up, of course you wonder why, you know what I'm saying? I definitely wasn't mad at God, but I did wonder why, because I was already a widow of 4, and now here I was with a handicap, and had to raise
Let's just make it really clear. Let's make it really clear. So you were in the coma for 2 months before you woke up, just to let people know that. Okay. So 2 months coma, woke up, and then go ahead.
Right.
So
I was in there 2 months. Right. Then I was in there 2 months after that. So I was in there for a total of 4 months. Okay. Right. So, when I initially woke up, that was my feeling. I had lost my husband by the hands of a car also. So it was, quite crazy. Like, wow, here they almost lost their mom the same way, but after enough prayer and understanding, I finally came to the point that I feel like, I thank God that it was me that happened to that night out of everybody that was out there, just because of the way that I'm dealing with it and the way that I'm handling it. Not to say that nobody else would be weak or, in this type of situation, but I found a way to find positive out of it, and I have no problem still going outside. Some people might have stayed in the house. You know what I'm saying? So I actually thank God that out of everybody that was there that night, that it happened to me.
I think there's always a blessing that comes out of everything, and look at all the people that you're inspiring. For those who never believed, just looking at your story, it's like that's nothing but God. Like, that's just something that you cannot deny. So when you came out of the coma, did you tell yourself, I'm going to get through this? How did you feel when they told you that you would be a vegetable, or did you not know that?
I actually didn't know that. When I woke up, I couldn't feel from my neck down when I first woke up. This is my family telling me, when I first woke up. I was conscious, but of course, you have to wait for the medicine to wear off and, all of that stuff. So I was woke for a minute, but once I realized what was going on, I definitely threw a small pity party for myself. I can't lie. I definitely threw a pity party for myself. And there was a good friend that was by my side, the whole time. And he kept egging me on and let me know, it's going to be okay. Then there's my family by my side, my mother, my sisters, my cousins and my kids. And they kept egging me on, and they put me in check, and I got myself together.
So did you ever believe that it could change for you? Or did you just think that this is just not the end, but I'll never be the same again? I'll never, in the midst of throwing that pity party, did you ever believe, at what point did you feel like, okay, it can get better?
You know what? After I was actually sitting in my bed, and I was checking my Instagram page, the old Instagram page that I had, and something, just came across. I always say it was the voice of God came across and says, go ahead and create an Instagram page. You're on that other page, you're pictures of yourself in the mirror and things of that nature. And it came across me to go ahead and create an Instagram page. And right there in that moment, a feeling came over my body that was like, everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. I got you. Go ahead and do this for me, and I'll do that for you.
Right. Did you have to re-identify what beauty meant to you?
I definitely did. I definitely did. My family actually hid the mirrors from me, and they had my cell phone, and I demanded my phone. You know how we are about our phones. So I demanded my phone. And when I got my phone, we have that reverse camera, on some phones. So I did my reverse camera, and let me back up just a little bit. Before that, I had actually touched my face where the stitching is, and there was this wonderful nurse. And I wonder who this nurse is. I actually thought I had a cold sore in that spot. And I rubbed it, and I told her I had a cold sore, and she gave me, a little ointment to put on my face. But it was actually the stitches. But this nurse really was protecting me. But let me fast forward back to that. I got my phone, and I looked into the camera, and I saw myself. And I was in disbelief. I couldn't believe it. I definitely couldn't believe it. And by me being single, I was wondering, like, who's going to want me and who's going to this, But like I said, that pity party was soon canceled and turned into a celebration.
I know that's right. Well, praise Him. Amen on that. I'm not trying to turn this into like a holy service, people, but, you just can't help it. You really just cannot help but to give Him praise. So what was like a day-to-day routine for you in rehabilitating yourself? What I want to know is what your thoughts were. What were some of the positive things that you fed yourself on a daily basis? Because we all know it's really a fight. It's a daily fight, a daily struggle. So what did you tell yourself?
I told myself to fight for my kids. Like when I was in hospital, when I did shed tears, it wasn't because of what happened to me. For the most part, it was because I wasn't with my kids. That was the biggest thing for me, that I wasn't with my kids, because I'm all they got. So they haven't been without me. So that was my biggest thing. So I just kept telling myself to fight for my kids, have faith, and, just believe that things are going to get better. Right now I felt as if how much worse could they get besides me being dead? You know what I'm saying? So just keep on fighting, keep fighting, and never give up. Never give up. I just kept telling myself that, along with family members and a friend that kept telling me that, never give up.
And if she can do it, guys, what can we do? What I always like to say is you have to find your reason why, and that's with anything in your life. So for her, it was her kids, and that's what just kept her motivated and kept her going. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm Tiffany, and I'm the host of EmbraceLifeRadio.com. We have Ebony. Is it Canion? Am I pronouncing it right? Ebony
yes, you
Canion.
Are.
Okay, we have Ebony Canion on the line. If you have any questions, if you're listening, you want to call in, just give a comment, question, whatever, give us a call at 347-994-1870. And this is also, Ebony, it's going to be an archive, so you can share and let everyone know about the show. But moving right on along, so you found your reason why, and that was your kids, and you kept fighting. Just what are some of the lessons that you learned through this whole entire experience?
Oh, wow, where do I begin? I've definitely learned, not to complain. People complain on a daily basis about the smallest things, and your number one complaint is someone's number one prayer. So I definitely learned not to complain so much. I've learned to not judge, to definitely not judge people, by their handicaps, deformities, scars, burns, or, whatever the case is, because we never know a person's story nor their struggle behind it. So, I definitely learned that. I definitely learned to treasure family members and friends and moments and memories, to treasure life more, things of that nature. You gotta definitely treasure those things. And I've learned that tomorrow isn't promised to you. I've learned that giving up is not an option. That's definitely not an option. I've learned to keep my head up no matter the situation, keep joy no matter the situation or circumstance, and I learned that there's still good people out here. Actually, my doctors and my nurses and the staff at Metro Health Hospital in Cleveland, the Grace Hospital, they were wonderful. They were like a second family to me, and they were wonderful. So I learned that there's definitely still good people out here, and I've learned that even because people don't know you, they feel your pain. As far as my Instagram and Facebook and Twitter followers, and probably even you, you know, they feel your pain and they understand, and they, you know, they want to go through it with you. And it's not all about watching the drama on TV. You know, it's okay to watch it's okay to inspire and watch somebody inspire. So that's another thing I've learned.
Yes, because this is real life. It's almost like a movie, and who knows, maybe one day it will even be a movie. What do you plan on doing with the platform? Because it's only going to get larger. Do you plan on writing a book, or where do you see yourself using it?
I definitely want to write a book. I definitely wanted to do that. Prior to this even happening, I actually wanted to write a book and inspire and motivate, because I had been through so much before this, you know, such as rape, molestation, domestic violence, you know, things of that nature. I had been through that before this. And so I had the scars on my body, which were minimal scars, you know. So now I have the extra scars, you know, to even go ahead and impress women, you know, and let them know just because you're scarred up doesn't mean that you're not beautiful, you know. So I definitely want to write a book. That's definitely in my near future.
That'll be amazing, and I can just see it being a great success to help a lot of people out there. So this is just kind of rewinding before the incident, and I did want to speak just briefly on that, because I'm sure there's someone listening, or there's someone who knows someone who is a widow and who has to raise children on their own. How did you find the strength to do that, and what would be your advice to those? Because I really just couldn't imagine.
Yeah. I was actually a young widow. My husband actually died when I was 23 years old. I'm 35 now.
Wow.
So I was actually, I had two at the time, but I was pregnant with my daughter, and I didn't know, and he didn't know either. I found out actually a week after the funeral that I was pregnant. So there was that, having another child, and, he wasn't there. But it was when I walked into the hospital, and I saw him laying there, I grabbed his hand, and I told him that I'm going to raise his kids to the best of my ability. So just giving them those words to him right there was my push. I have to live up to my word. I'm a woman of my word, and I said I was going to do it. So that's what I got to do.
That's amazing. You have your movie is like a book. You've been through so many things. I actually did a show on molestation a while back. There was a lot of women requesting the show, and there's still people that's just even in their adult life today just still struggling and dealing with those things. How have you dealt with it?
With the support of my sister, who was actually a victim too, but I didn't know that until we got older and we finally discussed it amongst each other. Because it's always a hush hush. You don't tell I'm going to do this to you. If you tell, they'll never believe you. Everybody goes through that thing. So when we got older, I think we were actually maybe about 19 to 20, because she's a year behind me, and we had finally came to each other, and we talked about it. And since then, we've both been each other's support, the backup system for each other.
Well, that's a blessing, because there's a lot of people who don't have anyone to talk to. Did you keep a journal at all? What's therapeutic for you? How do you express yourself? Prayer.
I talk to God and my family. That's the best remedy. The best remedy right there is prayer. I talk to God and my family. Is
there anyone that you look up to? Any role models or anything for inspiration?
Inspiration would be my mother. I look up to my mother, but my mother is my inspiration. I desire to be like my mother. She's such a strong, willed, go-getter, want everything just to be right, people person, loving, giving, inspiring, beautiful woman, God-loving woman. And that's my role model.
Well,
that's what
good.
I got to.
That's my role model, too, my mom. I agree. There's strong women, just go-getter women. And I think I'm realizing that the older that I get, like, okay, yeah, I do look up to you kind of, sort of. I couldn't stand you when I was younger, but you really do get to appreciate that as you get older.
You don't understand.
You really, really get to appreciate that. Well, you seem so free-spirited, and I said I wasn't going to give them any more glory or anything. But I just want to share with everyone just to let them know kind of like the steps that you have to go through to free yourself. Have you forgiven them?
Whew. You know what? I have something to say. I definitely. Okay, yesterday we went to court, and she was the week prior. We were going to trial, and my lawyer came in and told me that there wouldn't be a trial today because she pled guilty. So this Tuesday that passed is when she was supposed to go into the courtroom and actually give her plea. Now, we were there from 9 a.m., and maybe at like 11:30, they're ready for her to come in, and we're told that she's not there because she has a flat tire. So we continue to wait for her to come, and when she gets there, she's read her rights and told what's going on or whatever, and she decides to change her plea to no contest. Thank God the judge found her guilty, period, anyway.
Absolutely.
But while they were reading her rights, she stopped the judge in the middle of her tracks, and she actually said, in the most terrible voice I can think of, the only reason I pled guilty to these charges is because I'm trying to get back to my kids. And when she said that, it was kind of a slap in the face from a giant's hand, if you know what I mean? Because
yes.
I'm forgiving you, and now you have no remorse for this, for this situation. So it was kind of like, wow. And then she continued on to interrupt the judge and then began to say, I'm scared of these people. My family is out of state, and I'm scared of these people. And it was kind of like, scared of me? It was kind of like, wow, and I have flesh, and God understands that. So it definitely touched me being in the situation that I'm in. It definitely touched me and ruffled my feathers and had me kind of like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So I'm praying on it. I definitely, I forgive, but I'm not all the way there. I'm not, because of the situation that happened yesterday. It backtracked me a little bit. It definitely did, because it's hard to forgive when somebody doesn't have remorse. I know I have to forgive, and I am eventually, but it backtracked me. I did forgive before yesterday, but it backtracked me. It definitely did.
And being as though it's still fresh, I mean, it really just happened. So it's not something that will really, really change overnight. But I pray that you do get to a place where you can smile at things like that and, just pray for that person, because, I mean, she will have her day, and she's the one hurting way more. She's the one hurting way more. But I thank you so much for tuning in. Is there anything else that you would like to share for those listening, for those with a handicap or who've been through anything?
I definitely would. I definitely want to, tell people, to people who are going through things and may be ashamed, and maybe deformities and may be ashamed, and handicaps, things of that nature, to know that you're beautiful, and to keep your head up, and to know that, you're worthy. You're worthy, and you're someone. There's somebody who might be in a hospital or whatever, and may be struggling, to maybe even walk again, or to do anything, you know what I'm saying, in therapy or whatever, maybe struggling. I want to tell them to keep on fighting, you know what I'm saying, and then to my survivors out there, no matter what you survive, I guess it's kind of like, I'll say like in sports, there's football, there's baseball, there's basketball, there's soccer, there's so many more sports, but if you win a championship in any of those sports, you're still a champion. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what you survive, you're still a survivor. You know what I'm saying? So, keep on pushing, keep on moving, and, know that God is there. Keep faith, and just keep motivated, never give up. Never give up. I've said that we have the DNA by the most powerful, the most strongest, you know what I'm saying, and weakness wasn't in our package, You got to stay strong and keep fighting. Keep fighting. They tell you it can't, it ain't, it's not gonna. Tell them it is. Watch me, and here I go.
I know that's right. Well, I thank you so much for sharing your story. I mean, it really, really got a lot of people's attention, and I can just see you on, like, the Today Show or even Oprah or something. Sharing your story is really, really remarkable. Just continue to embrace life and just embrace your journey, and I just pray for you.
Thank you so much.
So in the Instagram, you share your Instagram, Twitter, how people can continue to follow your progress and your story.
Well, on Twitter as well as Instagram, it's survival_story. And then on Facebook, I'm on there as Survival Story, but they won't let me have more than 5,000 followers, and I'm at my max, so I'm going to create a like page, and that'll be Survival Story as well. So I'm going to create that page so I can, everybody else can join me on my journey. And I do want to thank you so much for having me, for glorifying, a triumph versus a tragedy. I do want to thank you for having me on your show.
I thank you. So thank you so much, and I'll continue to see you on Instagram and just keeping up with all of your progress. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Wow, that was awesome. If you never, ever believe, now really is the time. I mean, 7 broken ribs alone is enough. But she had a collapsed lung, a ripped up face, missing teeth, tongue had to get sewn on, fractured shoulder, jaw, like her spine was all messed up, and she's walking today. So she really is a survivor. For those of you who know anyone in a similar situation or circumstance, please share the show. I just hope that it really touched someone to continue to keep going. One thing that really stood out to me, she found her reason why, which was her kids. I always say if your why is strong enough, then your how, you'll figure that part out. You'll figure your how out. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you're following me on Twitter and Instagram, too. I forgot to mention that. But my Twitter and Instagram is Embrace Your Life, and your is You Are. Instead of Y-O-U-R, it's You Are. And I will see you next Tuesday with Small Biz Lady. And thank you so much. Continue to embrace life. See you next week.